this week is like what they call a vacation week. Like the children, at least in Massachusetts, or at least my children, and presumably other children too, in public schools, they have a spring break. So it's a vacation. It's a strange week. I like that there is less traffic. I'm driving here, it's nice, okay? I'm not just smelling the fumes from traffic. But children are at home. Wife works too, so they're at home by themselves. The problem, I mean, they're stuck to their little screens, right? Like, all they seem to do is play video games. Despite my many years of instruction, coaching, leadership, and wisdom sharing, they don't care. All they want is to play video games. Like, that part I don't understand. It's just, at least that's my children, but it's just not balanced. Like, right, like yesterday, I left my older boy in the morning. I left late for work. He was playing his video game, right? And when I came back 12 hours later, I think he was in the same spot, but there was a mountain of nachos and another mountain of leftover, what do you call it, cereals. And I think he's reached some kind of a level 98 or something. And also, like, his eyes were like this is what he looked like. And I'm like, listen, older boy, don't you, okay, my wife told me, no, you cannot, you have to be kind. You need to say 4 nice things before you say 1 bad thing. But I'm not good with saying nice things. And I didn't actually say anything bad. I said, listen, idiots, did you like play video games all day? And they're like, yeah, Dad, it's vacation week. I'm like, well, okay. So my wife gives me the, like, not now, pick your battles. I'm like, all right, fine. So I'm like toning it down a notch, and I'm saying, okay, children, but I'd love to like hit them with a large object of some kind. I'm like, well, why don't you go outside or something? Like, yeah, go outside. Like, the story. Me as a child, we as children, we went outside, we played, we were carefree. But that's before Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, and his stupid iPhone, right? How much trouble could I get into, right? I played, communist and Nazis with my toy gun made of wood. I made it myself. Anyhow, so they no, stop, you're so annoying. I mean, the teenage, just seriously, I just want to line them up against the side of the building and drive truck into it. I'm joking, metaphorically speaking. They're my children, I love them, of course. Like, no, we're not going outside, Dad. Just seriously, like, what would you do? Anyway, I actually kept my cool, mainly because my foot was hurting so badly from volleyball that I played. So anyway, it didn't bother me much. I said, all right, fine, okay, you didn't go outside. Well, how about friends? Like, why don't you go, like, hang out with friends? That's another thing I think I did as a child. I had friends, we would do stuff outside or inside, doesn't matter. They're like, no. And I'm like, don't you have those, play dates or whatever you call it? I know you cannot just walk up and knock and is Bobby home. I know they don't do that in America. But I'm like, can you, like, okay, text them, use your favorite device, which is always perpetually 3% charged because you're like, you're somebody's raiding your village. Anyhow, I'm like, well, why don't you text this Jeffrey or Matthew? Well, that's not a problem I have. I cannot remember the friends' names. So I remember a couple from a few years back, and I still call everybody by those 2-3 names, and every now and again I get it right. Like, I call this boy Matthew all the time, and he eventually told me he's Jeffrey. Anyhow, but anyway, so I said, well, why don't you invite them over or go over to their house? They said, well, Dad, they all went to, and they give me like the most exotic locations. I mean, we do live in town that many people do have money, they're wealthy, which is good, God bless America, maybe more than me. But I mean, they didn't come from Russia 25 years ago with 2 suitcases and $200 in their pocket. That's all communists let you get, right? I mean, maybe they did. It doesn't matter. The people have money, so my children somehow make it sound like, well, they're all on their private yachts going all the way to Hawaii, and I don't know, I don't even know exotic locations. What else? French Riviera. By the way, for years I didn't realize that Riviera, like near Boston, and French Riviera were two different things. I just thought that I mispronounced it, and there were a bunch of French people living in Riviera. By the way, incidentally, I'm driving through Riviera. You can see I'm right here in Riviera. It doesn't look like French Riviera, or it does look exotic sometimes. I'll tell you. Like, can you see? Well, look behind me. That's Riviera for you. Anyhow, I'm over 5 minutes. What was I talking about? I was talking about school vacation. So yes, if you listen to my children, like everybody else in our town is like direct descendant from Sultan of Brunei, and they have so much money that they can like afford to go to Hawaii for the weekend. I'm trying, and they told me, by the way, this summer we don't want to go. Like, we usually go to this, we rent a little place in New Hampshire. Why we go to New Hampshire? So we can afford, right? Right, we rent through this home of A.com or something. Anyway, but they're like, well, that's the last year we're going to New Hampshire with you. You must take us also to some cool place like Hawaii or New Zealand. That's the latest craze. They watched The Hobbit, and apparently The Hobbit was filmed. You'd think that they make just a couple of fake buildings somewhere in West Hollywood, in Los Angeles, but no, they filmed it in New Zealand. And they have a friends. They're from New Zealand, and they're now obsessed with New Zealand. I mean, one ticket to New Zealand is probably half of this Toyota Camry that I'm driving. Anyhow, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, school vacation brings out the worst in me somehow. Like, I'm pissed that I'm not making enough money, to take my children to even like a not very exotic location, but something other than New Hampshire. Okay, like maybe to the Old Hampshire, if there is such a thing. I don't know. Maybe it's probably awesome there, and they serve you ale or beer or something. Anyhow, so I'm pissed at myself. I kind of don't want to go to work. I also want to goof off. I was a child too. I just want to sit all day and play video games. At least I want to try. I don't ever play them. And that's what I should do once. I should just play video games. Anyhow, long video. But those of you who like me, I hope you watch it to the end. Okay, in fact, here's a test. I'll know how many of you watched it. I'll say a number. You need to put it in the comments, and the number will be 96. Okay, put the comment in 96, and I'll know you'll watch to the end. Okay, good night.